Hello, welcome to Have a Go Satire with two lefts and a right. Each week we'll be sifting through the current events from 3 different newspapers.
I'm naive, weak-minded Liberal Will Palmer, and I swallow opinions from The Guardian.
I'm narrow-minded, self-congratulating right-wing shill Glenn Wade, and I'm secretly agreeing with the Daily Mail.
And I'm dreamy champagne socialist Darren J. Coles, and I'm condescending to read the working man's newspaper, the Daily Mirror. I've got a funny story, and it's basically about a woman, Lucy Bond. In the main picture, she's got one of her tits out, and she's and her 4-year-old daughter. This 4-year-old girl is suckling on her mother's wrinkled old dugs. And I've just got at the beginning. It says, spotting her mummy across the nursery playground, little Sabrina Bond's face lights up as she runs to meet her. "Booby!" she shouts, jumping up and pointed at her mum Lucy's breasts. Now, this. To be honest, now, Glenn, you've asked me in the past where you're going wrong with women.
Yeah.
You do the same thing, don't you?
Well, when I go up to a 19-year-old shop assistant and shout, "Boobies!" and she panics and runs off, and then
you're grasping them like a fox going through a bin.
Oh, I'm grasping them like imagine 3 people who've just found a bit of wood when the Titanic sank. It's that sort of vicious. I mean, it's life or death. Well, usually, I mean, I've been banned. I have to go to Aberystwyth to go to Topshop now.
But what I've got here is, she says, the sensation of my milk being suckled out to me by my baby daughter made me feel like I never had before. I never wanted the feeling to stop. So I think there's probably some sexual element to this. We're having a discussion, the 3 of us, at a mutual friend's house. Yeah, it was a mutual friend's birthday party, and some of these people none of us knew, so I thought, what an opportune moment to bring up this topic of debate, is that I quite like the idea of breastfeeding. I quite want to taste breast milk, but it's not just like, I don't want to drink it cold out of a bowl. I want it hot from the tap, if you know what I mean. So I quite like the idea of suckling milk from a breast. There were girls there. It was pretty much us 3 and a group of girls. They thought it was slightly strange. Will agreed with me to start off with, but then backed down when he realised.
Once the pretty girl said that's weird, I went, yeah, weirdo Darren over there.
Because I guess like I can sort of say these things and not worry because I have a girlfriend. But I've talked to her about this. I've said, look, you know.
What did she say?
She thinks it's quite weird that the idea that I'd want to get her pregnant purely for the fact of breastfeeding. Just I mean, does that not
breastfeeding? Yes, I've considered this before. I think if you're in a loving relationship, then and say your lady girlfriend or lady wife can lactate and give you what you want. I just don't think there's anything wrong. Just like a taste. It's not as if you want to. Exactly. That's what your diet from then on is.
That's really creepy. That's really Freudian. That's like, oh, mum, can I just have a bit of mixture from the bowl? For me, the idea of getting so off the board and going into breastfeeding at my state at the moment, I mean, that's kind of like saying, I mean, my struggle with women, the idea of going straight for breastfeeding, that's like a tramp looking through the window of a restaurant and looking for the toothpicks. That's like not just jumping the gun.
It's been a bit presumptuous.
It's presumptuous. It's like, oh well, everything else is fine. I'm the tramp. I want a sandwich. I'm a bloke who is devastatingly single. So I want a sandwich.
But I don't think Darren's suggesting that you should walk up to on a first date going, oh, I really enjoyed spending time with you today. I'd love to meet up with you again, and maybe I could suckle on your breasts.
Yeah.
I don't think Darren was suggesting.
Or maybe say like,
okay.
I think this is a thing that you probably need to suggest to someone after like a few years of being in a relationship and saying, do you know what? When you're pregnant, I'm having to go on them. Which is basically what I've said.
Yeah.
So I've got first dibs on them.
I couldn't do it because I only drink skim milk anyway. So.
What would happen, Glenn? Right, if you were on a date.
Okay.
Right, so you're on a date with a woman. You fucking booked somewhere classy. She's nice. You really get on. You're making her laugh. You're thinking this is fucking going down a treat. This is
too bloody right. Send them back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Are you waiting here? You can't even speak English.
It's funny because it's true.
So yeah, so you're charming her with some casual racism and xenophobia. You go back to you come back here, come back to this place, right? And then you know you start getting it on. Right? I'm not going to mince words here. You start getting it on, and then all of a sudden she says, "Do you know what I really like? Do you know what I really like? I'd like it if you fed off me." So you'd be shocked at first, right? Because you know this is going really well, and all of a sudden she said this. She pulls down her top, and she's lactating there and then, and she says, "Yeah, well, the thing is, I've recently had a baby, right? I recently had a baby with someone, and I'm still lactating, and I just kind of like the idea of someone feeding off it."
I'd ask her, maybe if she had any kind of illnesses or anything. And then,
okay.
I mean,
how could you? You ruined the moment.
No, please don't. I will, but I need to ask you these questions first.
Alright, because I really feel a connection between us.
Yeah, so do I. But I think breastfeeding could be potentially dangerous if you've got an illness that I don't know about, and as you've hidden this baby,
dangerous for my baby. Are you saying that I'm a bad mother?
I didn't say that. But what I'm asking is that if you've hidden this baby thing from me,
it's good enough for you, Glenn.
Have you called the baby Oscar? That's lovely.
If you eat beetroot, it turns the milk purple. Look.
Oh my god. But I must ask you this. I just need to know if you've got any illnesses, because I mean, you've hidden the baby thing from me. God knows, I didn't really notice. You look brilliant. See?
To get the compliments.
Oh my god. But do you have anything? Have you got any illnesses? Just say yes or no.
I don't know. Sometimes my breast milk goes purple.
Isn't that because of the beetroot?
Oh yes, of course. I mentioned that earlier, didn't I?
We can suck on the normal one then. One's purple, one's regular.
So you've managed to channel the beetroot through one side of your body to come out of one specific tit.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
Is it? Oh right, okay then. So this one's fine. This is the normal one, because am I touching at this point?
What you're doing is you're weighing them both up like Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. But you know the main question is
yes is the answer.
Yes is the answer, and then
she's beautiful, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She's and then while you're doing it, she says, "I want to jab this needle down the end of your cock." What famous figures would you breastfeed from? Anne Widdecombe?
I think I'd sooner shave off my hair, burn it and eat it than do... Actually, I'd sooner do that than talk to Anne Widdecombe, because her voice is so hideously shrill. I'd imagine all the birds in a mile radius would go stiff and fall off the trees. Can we actually say who we would breastfeed from? Because I've got mine.
Okay, who's yours?
It would be celebrity football sexer Imogen Thomas.
Yeah, that's a good one actually.
We're just talking...
I'm really worried that this is descending into like the Chris Moyle show standards of talk here, but I think I'd have to agree with you there.
Would you want one and I'll have the other? Do you want to do it together?
I've not got a knitting needle, but I've got a pencil.